We are live right now. Me and Mike are talking about MMA. Mike, it's pretty much that's what this week's all about. So tune in.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Isle of Man in the UK. This is John and Mike's MMA Corner.
Like I said, me and Mike are live. We're talking just general gossip, things going on, Mike. Just having a general chin wag, really, about shit that's going on in MMA.
Yeah. It's a good chance to catch up and reflect and whatever. See what happens. Ad-lib.
So there's recently the video going about with the woman herself, Cyborg, talking about the people talking about the way she's been crying when she was making that weight cut down to 140. The video was on there. You could see her, how it was really, mentally and physically breaking it down. It was a bit of a powerful kind of image to see, but at the same time, I think we all knew the length she was going to get down to 140. I still don't understand why they bother doing this 140 for her when they could easily make a 145-pound fight for her. There's girls out there. I think there's fights out there. There's certainly in Invicta two girls that could fight at 145.
Exactly. I mean, whilst I was watching Megan Anderson in her last fight, I thought the way she was striking, I thought to myself, yeah, I would happily watch her fight Cyborg. Does she win or not? I don't know, but it's a big money fight. Like she could earn well out of it as far as Megan Anderson's concerned. And I think that she could probably make it competitive at least.
Is there no one else you'd put ahead of her?
Oh yeah, definitely. You've also got, I can't even say the bloody name now.
Her name is Cindy Danduis. She actually beat Megan Anderson.
Yes, and she fought on that card as well.
And she won.
Yeah,
she won
very well. Yeah, so judo girl. Yeah.
I think you'd have to actually, I'd put Cindy ahead on merit. And I don't know what they're going to do, though, because, to be fair, they might pick Megan Anderson because of the way she is marketable.
Yeah, she's going to come and engage, yeah.
No, she's marketable. No, she is a person, is a marketable person.
Yeah.
Cindy is marketable to an extent, but she keeps herself a bit out of the limelight, so to speak. I think if she was to push herself a little bit more, she would get that fight because she needs. I think people need to realize that, like even Tyron Woodley, the way things are going on for him, the way everyone's putting it out, it's not about I'm ranked number one, I get the fight. It's about picking the right fights.
It's show business.
It's a show business. Fighting. It's money, and I completely get that, and I don't have any problems with.
It's not the fight game or the skill game. It's the entertainment game, basically.
Yeah, it is. So I'd like to see maybe if Cindy puts out there a bit more, really pushes it. I think she could probably maybe work her way into it. But at the same time, Cyborg cutting down to 140, I just think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I want to see 100% Cyborg.
Yeah, and I think you get more out of it at 145. Now, I don't know if she wants to take a little bit more time. I know she's got a fight scheduled now again. I think if she took a little bit more time to try and drop her weight naturally and just get on that cardio, just literally get that cardio going, take a bit of atrophy, burn off waste, a bit of muscle, get a little bit of muscle off that body to help with that weight cut. I think maybe she could do it. I know she has George Lockhart in her corner as a nutritionist who is the fucking man. But there's only so much a guy can do. A nutritionist, not even just a guy, just anyone who could do to get someone down a weight. It comes to a point where their body physically can't go any lower. I'd like to see maybe the UFC just suck it up and maybe put a 145 in, or maybe just accept that they can have super fights of Cyborg randomly at 145 on their card.
Like say, okay, Megan, you're going to fight on the UFC at 145 against Cyborg. There you go. It's a one-off.
I don't see why they can't do that. I like the way you keep pushing Megan.
Do you know what? That would help sell a card.
I like the way you write off Cindy. It's nice. It's nice.
No. I keep forgetting Cindy's name, and I feel really bad about that because I mean, she beat Megan. I think it was 2 or 3 fights ago. 3 fights ago.
For Cindy, it was actually 2 fights ago. For Megan, it was 3.
Yeah, it was Megan's 3 fights ago. Yeah, she's come back and had 3 wins since, I think.
Now,
was it?
That was a bit crazy watching that, and I think that maybe with the talks of the 125, because he did that matchup with Calderwood and Letourneau, I don't know how they're going to work out with the women's weight class, because there's more and more names popping up with the weight classes and different fighters. Especially you had it's a shame because Aislinn Daly is out of the fight in Hamburg.
Yeah.
Michelle Watson, they're trying to find a replacement for her. I thought it was a bit of a shame that Aislinn Daly was out for so long, and then she came back and just a
she last fought on the Dublin card, so
bad luck, really.
Maybe Manchester.
I don't know what her injury is. I don't know.
I don't think anything's been announced as yet. But,
no, it has actually. No.
Oh, is it?
It was. It was like a tear on a ligament or a strain on a ligament. She's going to get checked this week. So at the moment, I don't know what the extent is, but I'm pretty sure that's what there was last time I checked. Also, Mike, the big news is for me was USADA having a couple of names thrown back into the testing pool with Chael Sonnen and GSP thrown the name back into that USADA testing pool.
Big ticket sellers, yeah. It's entertaining guys and fighters in their own rights, and with GSP, if he comes back, does he get a title shot straight away? I think he deserves one. If he asks for it, I think he has it.
I think he gets it. I don't think there's any doubt, really. I think it's
even
though he's been out
break as champion. Yeah, he took his break as champion after beating everyone. He ruled a division that was stacked, absolutely stacked. The welterweight division is one of the most stacked divisions there is, and he ruled it. And so yes,
I think as well. If you had, let's say, Anderson Silva, for example, let's say he didn't fight Chris Weidman, right? That fight didn't happen, but then he retired. He wanted to have a break, and he came back. It'd be the same situation. It would be stupid to deny the person that title shot. And I think GSP is. There is talks, obviously, there's a lot of rumblings. Now he's sticking his name in. Now, it doesn't mean that he's going to compete. It's just that he's putting his name in, so he's there and ready to compete.
Yeah, so if an offer comes along, he doesn't have to wait a period of time. He doesn't have to have any of this sort of, why is he getting a waiver?
He's put his name in. Now, this part gripes me, though. But then again, I remember it's about prize fighting. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, that badass son of a bitch who is absolutely murking everyone, should be getting that title shot, right? He should totally get a fight against Tyron Woodley, because I think Tyron Woodley would have a nightmare against him, because with Robbie Lawler, obviously Robbie even knows himself, he was very passive, he was way too relaxed, and he was backing up too much. But with Wonderboy, his distance management is another level to like Robbie Lawler. So, how Tyron Woodley is going to close that gap down, because he's not going to be able to do one of those big power shots, because Wonderboy's not going to be there. Wonderboy's going to be gone. And if
he'll see it from before Tyrone's even know he's going to throw it. So...
Even not that. Even if he was close, odds are Woodley's going to be on an angle and just popping a shot off to crack him. I want to see Tyron Woodley, and I want to see Wonderboy Thompson at MSG at 205. I want to see that fight happening, because I want to see the whole Ray Longo lot, Matt Serra lot, Ala Quinta. I want to see Aljamain Sterling. I want to see Chris Rosa as well. He's a Boston boy. I think Boston's around, isn't that around that area as well? New York kind of.
Yeah. Well, it's across the bridge.
Across the bridge, that kind of. I want to see all those names on there. I want to see, obviously, Weidman on there. I want to see all of them on that card, and I think it would be silly for the UFC to kind of not do it. I think it'd be silly to miss out on that. But then, because I think the MSG card will just sell anyway. I think it's one of them ones. It's
going to sell. But put it this way: there's people, putting their money aside at the moment for a ticket.
No. I don't mean tickets, Mike. I mean pay-per-views. It's not about tickets.
Oh yeah, pay-per-view buys. Yeah.
The money.
I think it will. It's that anticipation. It's mega.
Your manager Jacek wants to fight on it again against not Shevchenko. Yeah, fight Shevchenko on it as well. I'm game for that. I am game for those two girls going on that card and thrown down.
Yeah, too right.
I'm totally up for that fight. I think that would add to it. I think it'd be awesome. I would love to see him on the 204 card, but even Joanna said she doesn't want to fight on the 204 card. She wants to fight on the MSG card.
Yeah, because I think there is a large Polish contingent in New York.
It's not even a contingent. It's just the fact that she wants to fight in Madison Square Garden.
And the fact that, I mean, who doesn't want to get on that card?
Yeah,
it is a bit of history.
John Jones wants on it. You've got Chael Sonnen wants on it.
No, John Jones wants on any card at the moment.
Brock Lesnar wants on it.
Yeah, right, Brock.
Yeah,
good luck with that one.
It is.
He's the only one that's not asking, isn't he?
I know. Look, the cards are going to be nuts, but at the same time, I think, like I said before, with GSP putting his name in that USADA pool, it's for me. I'm thinking, right, is he maybe just doing it to see how he feels? 'Cause I don't know if he's going to fight. I don't think he's going to fight. If I'm honest, I got a feeling he probably might not. I'm swaying towards no because the big thing was Faraz Zahabi saying no, he's not going to fight anymore, and I think that guy knows him way better than anyone else. Way better. Like he is. He knows GSP, and I know GSP. I've said it once. I'll say it again. GSP just has the itch. He wants to fight and he wants to compete, and it's fine. I understand that, but
maybe he just wants to see what offers out there, financially, and what rewards are out there. Like
he's minted. He is.
Oh yeah, I know he is, but
he is.
Somebody turns around.
Oh, he doesn't need it. Like for example, all the concussions he said that he had, the blackouts, all the problems he had with his headaches. I'm like, dude, you have the highest head, significant strikes to the head in the welterweight division. Like you have the highest number people hitting you in the head. What is the point in going back in there to just take more? It doesn't make sense. Like, don't do it. You're leaving.
Yeah, but you know what? It's the fight game.
It is. I know.
People don't know when to leave normally.
And that's why I think
it looks. You know what? It looks like he did, but now there's the whispers. I know. Maybe he's just having a bit of fun. Just like.
I think Faraz will come back. I think Faraz might be pushing him to say no. I think Faraz might be smart enough to say no.
Yeah, I think Faraz Harvey, and he knows that he quit at the right time.
And what's he going to do? Like, if let's say fights Tyrone, right, beats him, wins the title.
He's back in that murderer's row again.
But it's not that. I just think, what are you going to do? You're not going to defend that belt like you did before. You can't keep going.
No,
I don't see the point.
Guess what? That itch will still be there. It will never go.
Never go. So, yeah. I think he needs to accept that. I'm just like, but anyhow, Chael Sonnen's an interesting one because there is rumblings, rumors, kind of going around that he might be signing back with the UFC. Now, I would not be shocked if he tries to call out Anderson Silva again and ask for another bout because Chael probably fancies chances a little bit more in this one.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen.
I think he might offer Bisping a rematch as well. That bit of gold round Bisping's waist is
everyone called out Bisping before he had the belt. And there is no reason now for people to stop. And with the belt, even more reason to probably shout a little bit louder than he did before. And yeah, it's like that. The fight anyway is insane. The fact that Bisping and Hendo's going down. But it's cool that it's happening in a way that the legend himself, at least he's saying, I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight. And that's my last one. Win or lose. I like that. And the fact the UFC went, we're making it happen. I like that. But
yeah, it's good because really it's a case of if he does lose, I don't think it damages his
legacy.
Yeah. I think that goes intact because he has been starched a couple of times. But because he's got that sort of two-title pride reign that he had, I don't think anything will damage that.
You can't take it away. You did it.
No,
it happened.
No,
exactly. And he won that when everyone was off their tits on special.
Yeah. So even if you turn around, even if Dan tests positive in the Bisping fight, say, let's just say he tests positive after the fight. I hope to God he doesn't, but let's say he does.
He'll just test positive.
You can't take away what he did in Pride.
No, he'll just test positive for man, like just being a man, fucking manliness is what he'll test positive for.
I've heard even if you go in the same room as him, your testosterone goes up a little.
Yeah, especially if you just stand next to him, it just goes up. Look,
it's just vaporizing off him. Yeah.
You saw, not USADA though, but someone who popped positive recently for a non-PED. Again, dude's slipping up. The dude keeps messing up. The dude goes and comes back and gets a win after having a rough patch. Melvin Gillard, again, the guy is on self-destruct mode. I can't get it. I just don't understand this cat.
Yeah, it kills that Paul Daly fight, doesn't it? Which is a shame because that was entertaining. That would have been a good scrap.
Yeah, it would have been a good scrap. Big load of fun. Because you know what you're going to get. The two of them would just stood up and face each other and just been thrown. But no, I just think, Melvin, you've had a lot of opportunities now. You were a good professional for a period of time, but then there's things there that he just can't help but slip up. He's almost like John Jones, just can't help himself.
I think to myself, why do they not have a friend, a family member, somebody that's just guiding them, for instance, old-fashioned boxing, you had your trainers that, your coaches that were almost took you in as a family and they would steer you in the right direction and, look after you. Why is that? Why do these people not have somebody that's looking out for them and just saying...
Well, Mike, hang on a minute. You're going to tell me every boxer did everything right?
No. But
Mike, that's what I mean. There's a handful of guys in boxing that went way the wrong way. And guess what? It's like MMA. There's only a handful of guys that go way the wrong way. That's all it is.
Well, what I was going to say was, you've got Tyson with Customata and Tyson without Customata, and you can see the difference in him.
Yeah.
It was almost like Cus was the... had hold of the reins, just holding him back under control, and then without him...
Well, it's that prick Don Farr. Okay. Don King. Don King knows prick. Mike, let's go on to Ben Saunders and the crazy saga that happened with him of late. Not being with the UFC now, even though he won 3 fights and lost 1. You know about this, Mike?
Enlighten me.
It's okay, Mike. Like I said, I'll keep you up to date with MMA. It's what I do. So, Ben Saunders his contract ran out with the UFC and he didn't renew it. He didn't negotiate or talk about a new contract or anything because he had a lot of things going on outside of the fight game. And his contract just went through and it expired. So to speak, the kind of that period of the negotiation bit, they got someone in the roster to replace him, and he can't go back in because the roster's filled. Basically, the guy who's got the position is Homasi, the dude who recently fought at Titan FC last week and won. So he's stepping in short notice to fight Tim Means. I'm super happy about that because there was Connor or this SBG lot trying to get Peter Quealy in, who is 8 wins, 2 losses with 8 decision wins. I have more professional finishes than him. It's fucking ridiculous that he's even getting looked in. It's only because he's with the SBG boys, with Connor. And I was like, please, for the love of money, don't put him in there. Tim Means would have a fucking field day with that boy. Anywho, so Ben Saunders, he's now fighting on a regional card somewhere this weekend, is it? Or he's fighting soon. I think it might be this weekend. All because he had a lot of stuff going on outside of the fight game, personal stuff going on, and it's crazy to think that all that happened, he just closed himself off from everyone, didn't tell the UFC what was going on, just cut himself off from the world. And now he's off the card. He's off the roster just because of that. Not because he did anything wrong, just because of that.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if he had said to somebody, "I need to buy some time."
Well, that's the problem, Mike. He just didn't. He just cut himself off from everyone.
I know, but it just goes to show that, mate. I'm thinking if he had said to someone, "I'm dealing with a few problems. Can I just put things on hold for the time being?" You know, like just talk to people like you would if whatever job you're in. You know, would that? You know, the UFC is a company, but you know, I'm sure they would have listened and said, "Okay, go and sort your shit, and then come back to us."
You know? Well, they're human beings. Obviously, I think they would understand that, and they would totally. Yeah. And it's not like he needed a year. He probably just needed like 6 months, even if that.
Yeah.
But because he didn't say anything, I think it's crazy. Honestly, I think it's bonkers that it happened.
Yeah,
but it happened.
You can't be pleased with that.
Let's Mike, because you wanna have a little rumbling about it. You want to have a chin Mike about this. There's a little shitty card coming up called UFC 202.
I heard something about it.
Not on this weekend. Is it just the Conor thing you want to talk about? Conor and Nate?
No. To be honest with you, although I am looking forward to that fight, who isn't? But there's another fight.
I want to talk about the card happening. I want to talk about the card next week.
Yeah, it's the Anthony Johnson fight. You know, that's the one that's really got my excitement. You know, what happens, because it's like two trucks colliding, really, and you know, I want to know, you know, just how does it go down? You know, does Anthony Johnson go out there and stop him, or you know, what do we think?
What do I think?
Yeah, well, are you looking forward to it as much as myself?
I think from a technical standpoint, Glover is actually a better striker than Anthony Johnson on a technical standpoint. But the problem you have with Anthony Johnson is
he's got gunpowder.
Well, so's Glover. So's Glover, though.
It just seems to have that slightly different level gunpowder. You know, that sort of that freak power. I mean, don't get me wrong, Glover's powerful, but it seems that Anthony Johnson is just freakish. You know, it's like, yeah, you know, is he the hardest hitter pound for pound in the UFC at the moment? I think he's definitely got to be considered. Obviously, we've got the likes of John Lineker, and there's probably a few others. Like, because Lineker I'd have to put there, because, you know, he's not the biggest bantamweight, but, you know, he might be one of the hardest hitters bantamweights.
Well, Glover did stop Maldonado. Now, come on, folks.
Not a lot of people do that.
He's tough as fucking coffee.
Not a lot of people do that at light heavy. Yeah.
He stopped Rashad Evans as well recently. That was Glover's fight as well. He stopped him. Ryan Bader as well. Patrick Cummins.
Whilst hurt. Whilst on the brink of being stopped himself, you know.
And he's got submissions. Now, this is the thing. This is why the fight is a lot more complex, Mike. You're looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to it. But at the same time, you've got...
Well, this is the big question, what you're going to say now, yeah. This is what I think is the biggest question.
Is a badass wrestler, right? Anthony Johnson's actually got really good grappling, right? That he doesn't use it enough because he doesn't need to, because he hits like a fucking freight train. Glover hits like a freight train, but what also he is, he's a goddamn ninja on that mat. He is a absolute monster on the mat, and if he wanted to, and he should do, is use that submission game a lot more. He's done it already in UFC. He's already had submission wins. I think he stopped James DeHuna with...
he did. First round with a...
choke him.
Head and arm, I think.
Could it be head and arm? But he's had another submission since then. I can't remember off the top of my head. But he's got that submission game, and we saw in the Daniel Cormier fight. I know Daniel Cormier wore him down, but if you're Glover, he is a little bit susceptible to getting hit because he does like to stand bang. If Glover can get that fight on that mat, Now that's a big task. That's a big fucking task. If you can get that fight to the mat, then I think you start. I totally favor towards the Glover. And standing up though, I only favor Anthony Johnson. Not on a technical standpoint. I think that Glover though gets caught once or twice too much. Like Ryan Bader was catching him.
Yeah.
And Ryan Bader, his striking is coming along, but Ryan Bader's striking is still light years away from being elite. I think that Anthony could probably catch it, and he probably might even use his jab to keep that range to try and just pick away at Glover. Because he won't want to stand in too close with Glover because Glover's so powerful. He's so good at striking. I think you might see a technical Anthony Johnson keeping Glover away, a lot of jabbing, and then setting up.
With that in mind, so the winner of this fight, do they go off to Madison Square Garden to fight DC?
Of course they will. They should.
So in theory, this is an eliminator for the light heavy.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, everyone knows that. Anyway, I think everyone knows that.
Yep.
You know, it'd be hard to argue anyone else getting it. Like Gus is fighting Jan Blachowicz. Beating Jan Blachowicz does not earn you a title shot. Now, I'm not saying that Glover's going to win. At the same time, Jan Blachowicz isn't at elite level. I think these two guys are just the two guys at the next step up. It's obvious. I think anyone else doesn't see that. They're blind. So I think that you're going to have Glover and Anthony fight. This is clearly setting up for the Madison Square Garden card. I think it makes a lot of sense too as well. Because if you think about October, November, yeah, that would probably give them enough time. It depends on how the fight goes and injuries and knocks. They might put it to the December card, the Christmas card, which I wouldn't be shocked at because the reason why I say that is MGM. I would not be surprised if you have, Joanna and Shevchenko final card. Also, you know, if, say, Henderson lost, I think this is why they might delay it a little bit. If Hendo won, and he retires, you could have Luke Rockhold and Chris Weidman maybe fight, and they fight for the vacated belt.
Mm-hmm.
That might be one. So, again, there's a lot of if, buts, and maybes. You've also got Tyron Woodley potentially fighting GSP. It's a little bit up in the air.
There's 3 fights on here that I believe will the winners will potentially go on to New York, and they are Conor McGregor against Nate Diaz, winner, probably the loser as well. There is the Anthony Johnson Glover Teixeira, and there is also the Cody. Now, if Cody gets a win on this card, I think he goes on to fight Dominic Cruz in one of those 2 cards that you've just mentioned, either the New York or the December card.
Yeah, that's spread out because I think what they might do in December as well, they might do those 3 cards in one night again.
Possibly, yeah.
I think that's what they try and do now. Is
I think that's what's going to happen now with the July card and the December card. I think you will start to get a 3 thing because what it's doing is bringing the bodies in so that if like you've got the people that will go to all 3 cards, you've also got those that want to be around that period of time, but they're saying, "Well, I'm not going to come," but they can't afford the main card. Then go to one of the other cards, or
they're not doing it for us.
So they can come see some fights.
Mike, listen, they're not doing it for us. They're doing it because they have a roster that is massive, and they need to use up their fighters. They need to give guys fights and girls fights too.
Yeah.
That's why they do that, Mike. It's to get people fights. Like the card that we just had the weekend gone. The names, it wasn't a big name card. It was just a card just to get guys fights and get them on there and get out and not a fight under their belt. That's all it is, and that's what.
Yeah. 2 or 3 cards. 2 years ago, you wouldn't have seen a card like that.
No, you would have had a big name, a big name headline.
Yes, yeah, there would always.
I don't think Yari and Alex Caceres' big name headline. Not at all. Not by the close. Not by a large margin. I think like an opener on a main card. That would be an opening fight on a main card.
Yeah. I think they're both very surprised to have been main event on a UFC card, which in itself is success in its own right. And
it doesn't surprise me though, because there's a lot of main cards they've had where I was surprised, but I think again, it's just they've got to fill these cards and they've put these names out there. It's what they've got to do. It's what else to do. So you just want to talk about is that what you want to talk about, Mike? Was the Anthony Johnson and Glover fights?
No, it was because there was 3 fights that I thought would be potentially would see the next. Obviously, the Conor McGregor against Nate Diaz. Okay, I'm not necessarily saying that would be a title challenger, but those other 2, I think, are almost like an eliminator in that I think Cody gets the next title shot should he win this fight.
The guy's fighting, Mike's called Mizugatti.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. I'll help you out. It's fine. And yeah, Mizugatti is a badass anyway, so there's no writing that dude off. And he is a badass fighter. Dominic Cruz murked him, but to be fair, Dominic Cruz is a freak. And Cody against Mizugatti is a fun-ass fight. Cody's fun. He's good to watch. They are marketing him in the right way. I would probably favour Cody because of the boxing that he has. He has a far, far superior kind of advantage there. When it goes to the ground, that's when things start to change for him. And I think it's one of them ones where if you can get the takedown on Cody, that's your best bet. Get him down on his back, because when he's on his back, he ain't going to be punching you. He ain't going to punch you hard anyway.
Yeah.
That's probably safest.
Whilst he's standing, he has got that get you out of jail power, which definitely helps. One other fight on there that I quite like, just because I like it, is Neil Magny against Lorenz Larkin. I think that will be quite entertaining.
Yeah, there's quite a few fights on the card that'll be good fun. Yeah. Hamasi stepping in, he is going to be a hell of a good scrap against Tim Means. That is going to be a fun-ass fight. That could be like one of the best fights of that card. Definitely. Honestly, so much fun to watch. Hamasi hits to hurt with every strike. He doesn't hit half hard. He hits to hurt. He's a fun fight to watch. It's there's a handful of good cards, like you say.
Can we not just fast forward to it?
I know, we could do, but obviously...
I don't need to do anything next week. Come on. Can we not just sleep and wake up on Friday?
Yeah, hibernate. Is there any other kind of, let's say, stories or news or events or moments like UFC 204 Manchester, Brad Pickett against Alcantara is going to be on, so it's nice to get Brad Pickett's going to be there because his opponent pulled out the Hamburg fight the month before, so he's getting moved up to.
So are we gutted that fight got called off?
No, we're not, because we'll be getting to see him.
Sorry, Brad, but selfish me is quite pleased.
Yeah, but there's a handful of fights that are shaping up now.
I think there's an awful lot of UK guys that are pleased that fight's been.
So, Mike, is there any other stuff you want to chat about, talk about?
Well, I'd like to know, when are they going to formally announce, tickets for Manchester, etc., etc.
The October 8th. Well, they've not actually announced the event. They've not.
That's what I mean. I didn't want to say that and then find out that it got announced earlier today or something. Because everything's kind of unofficial announcements. Like Bisping's said on Top Show.
No, Mike Bisping and Hendo, they've signed the fight contract. They've signed it. Okay, so it's happening. It's just the UFC haven't said fight's happening. Bang. Now Hendo was saying he doesn't know why it is. Could be venue, etc. It's Manchester Arena, because I checked the Manchester Arena schedule. There is nothing booked for that date on the Saturday, October the 8th. The Friday they've got some band in or something. On the Friday, there's nothing. There's also Rugby League going down that weekend. Big Rugby League event, I think, at the Old Trafford, the football stadium. So there's nothing. So it's not happening there. It's a Manchester Arena. There's nothing else there that they can host it. So definitely going down there. on a Saturday. They'll probably have the weigh-ins again at that lecture hall, that kind of study lecture hall they had it last time, Mike. They'll probably have it there again because obviously they can't get it on Friday. So
the big glass building, wasn't it, or something?
There's big glass windows at the front. You went into, and it was like a study. It was like
with that huge queue.
Yeah, and had Andy Hall, had Andy Ogle's mum. Andy Ogle's mum was in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where it was, that place. So yeah, that's happening. Again, you got Bisping, Hendo, Vitor, Musasi, Struve against Magomedov, like Ruslan, Magomedov, heavyweight, and now Bisping and Alcantara. Also, Arnold Allen has signed a fight contract as well, so that will hopefully get announced soon. And odds are it's going to be UFC Manchester. Let's be honest, people.
Manchester.
Yeah, it'd be Manchester. So look, there's a handful of fights there. We're just being selfish and greedy because we're going to be there. But Mike, anything else you want to talk about? Anything else you want to mention? Anything else you want to bring up?
Ooh, I don't know. Is it next week yet?
You've not been keeping up with the MMA news. It's fine, Mike. It's okay. Don't worry about it. You've been busy sat in your house. It's fine. I understand. Look, we're going to go. That's it for this week. Thank you for listening. We'll speak to you soon, people. Have a great week, and then we'll be nearer and closer to UFC 202.